Hi, and welcome to Intro to Mass Communication. My name is Tim McKenzie, and I'll be your professor this semester. I just wanted to give a quick introduction. Uh, as far as the course goes, this is going to be there's four main modules. Each module has a checklist. You should probably pay attention to that. There are usually some items that are early in it that deal with discussion boards, introductory discussion board, media usage log, things like that. Those are all, kind of some intermediary steps that if you tried to do everything at the last minute, it would be impossible. It's better that we do a few things early and that kind of thing. So that's basically just a little bit of the gist. The first one will be due Monday, September 10th. So that's actually, let me think, that's 3 weeks away. So then the next one will probably be a little bit longer after that. It's October 8th, so you get about 4 weeks for that one. And then you have the midterm takes a week, and there's a couple papers in there and some other things. So even though you have like 3 weeks to do the first thing, you also have the introductory discussion board. That's fairly, pretty typical for anybody who's taking an online class where you introduce yourself. I've already posted one for myself. And each one after that takes about 4 to 5 weeks. You get to do your material, and that's basically the way it works. I have videos in each section that I talk about the chapter in the book. The first two modules, I think I have them done. The third and fourth modules, I have not done any of the videos. Basically, what happened was I looked at the numbers from YouTube on how many people watched the videos I made, and they were so dismal that I didn't make them for 3 and 4. The last time I did it, I mean, I had like very few people watch them. If you guys want them, I'll add them. If you don't watch them, I won't add them. It's that simple. I mean, it's just kind of I'll let you make the decision whether or not you like those or not by whether or not you watch them. As far as other things go, I always like to give a little bit of what you need to do to be successful in this course. Really, I like teaching this course in the classroom, but just for whatever reason, I thought I would try it online a few years ago. It got some decent enrollment. I'm going to try it again. If it's not very good, I'll go back to the classroom format. I think it's better because you get a chance to meet me. We get the daily interaction. And I think one thing missing is that daily interaction, that daily, or not daily, but 2 or 3 times a week interaction, where we get to discuss these ideas and actually have a little more fun rather than just sort of reading stuff and doing it. This is for people, intro to mass communications, people who are thinking about going to broadcasting, journalism, public relations, PR, things like that. As far as that goes, those are all places where you learn to communicate and talk to people. And it's not just about, kind of interacting with a computer. It's about actually going out and meeting people. And so I think that appeals probably an in-class class. But I also realize that people like the freedom to take the course when they can. And so it's kind of a back and forth. What do we do? What's the best? I would highly encourage everybody in this class to get involved with the student newspaper, The Lamp. Uh, Even if you don't want to do journalism, if you want to be a public relations person, well, you've got to, you're going to have to deal with the media. You're going to have to write stories. Public relations is a really broad area. And sometimes you write stories about the lineman whose son was sick in order to put it in the company newsletter or something like that, or to promote that and try to say the company's trying to do this, and you're trying to get it out to the press, and you're trying to talk about how great your company is. It's not all about kind of this crisis management that we oftentimes see with public relations. There's a lot of just day-to-day stuff that is very similar to journalism. And getting over there and learning how journalists think, how they write, is very beneficial. If you're going to do broadcasting, I'm sorry, but you need to learn to write, because if you're going to write a script, they don't just wing it on TV. In the evenings on CNN, they might, but at least on the local news, on the evening news, it's all scripted, it's all written, it's all organized, and you've got 2 minutes, 3 minutes of canned material that you have to get through. That's all scripted. If you're thinking about doing even like sports broadcasting and you want to be an announcer for games, same thing. There's a lot of stuff that's scripted. There's little bits before the show that are scripted, and all that is benefits from the learning to write in that format. So just a little bit of a plug. I would love for you to email me, say, hey, I want to write something for the lamp. Come to our meetings. I try to create kind of a fun atmosphere there. There's usually drinks in the fridge, although I haven't bought any. I should probably go do that. I got a couple days though. And usually, usually just try to, let you guys do your thing. And I work with you. If you want to take news writing, I'd highly encourage you to do that. That does meet every day at 9 a.m., which I know is early. But that would be something I would encourage you to consider doing. Get involved, meet the fellow people who are doing journalism. We have a conference, do those kinds of things. So that's kind of just my plug for that. Then on the other note, it's how to be successful in the course. And that is the best thing you can do is interact with me, send me an email. You can't just raise your hand and say, hey, I have a question. In an online course, you have to kind of take a proactive approach. I don't know anybody has a question unless they ask it. I can't see your faces to see that you're confused. If my lecture, if my information, if the questions are difficult, I don't know that unless you say it. So that's a big thing. And then finally, at least for this course, one of the things I try to do is I'm trying to put a lot of effort and emphasis on the discussion boards. And so, some of the discussion boards may say, go watch a movie. And so you have to go find the movie, watch the movie, think about the movie in regard to the question prompts. If you watch all these movies and that, you'll get a lot more out of this course. You'll learn a lot more about how these, industries worked and the ideas discussed in the books than you would have if you hadn't watched it. If you go to the bookstore and look at how bookstores are set up and you read about the marketing of books, you're going to get a lot more out of it by actually going out and doing that. And so the discussion boards aren't just sort of supposed to be, I'm going to read this and give my 15-minute spiel so I can get my points. I'm going to read those more critically, and that's the way that's going to go. I'll be more critical of them. Now, in regards to that, I am going to say that there are like 5 discussion boards in the module 2. You have to pick 2 of them. You don't have to do all of them, but you have to pick 2 of them. So if you pick the magazine's discussion board because you're interested in magazines, then you will want to go out and get magazines and look at them and spend some time working on that. If you decide to do the newspaper one, there's some movie ones. You'll want to go out and watch the movie, think about the movie, and do that kind of thing. I'd actually probably like to, if there is time, set up a time when maybe we could do a viewing event. You guys need to kind of talk to me about that, whether or not that's even something that we want to consider doing. But if we do that, that would be a great way to do that, discuss it, then you go home and write your reaction. But that could be a kind of a fun thing. I could bring popcorn and drinks, and we could do it some evening. Drinks by soda, I mean. That we could do that some evening here at the college or whatever. But I need for 5 or 6 people to be interested in that. So those are all just some of the things that are going on. I'd love to have people get together or talk more. Like I said, one of the things that's negative now, people who live farther away, who can't come to campus, who have jobs, this online is great. But I think that that's a great benefit. The midterm and the final, everything is open except for I don't have all the videos, lectures for the chapters online. Those I will add. So you'll want to go back and check on those. And then on modules 3 and 4, I'll add those closer to the midterm. The midterm and final exam are available. If you want to just sit there and knock everything out, you're welcome to do so. I don't recommend doing that. I think that's not the best way to learn. And second of all, as far as the midterm and final, they are essay exams. They are very long. I'm going to take a lot of time to read those. But the deal is, I'm going to take a lot of time to read those. But the deal is that, let me finish this up. The deal is if you take the time and you do those, they take a lot of time. I think they may be too much, and so I'm thinking about actually toning them down, removing some of the questions, making them a little simpler. But I haven't done that yet. So if you want to rush through and do it, you're going to take the current version, which is probably more hard. Give me a few weeks, and if I decide to revise it, I'll revise it, and I'll send out an email saying, "Hey, I revised it." If I decide it's fine as is, then I'll let you know that as well. But I do think that those probably could be simplified, just because I give you like 30 questions. I'm going to ask you 10 of them, and you have to write a short essay on all of them, and that may be a bit much. So that's just to give you a little bit of a heads up on that coming down the pike. Other than that, I don't have much else to say. Good luck. Reach out to me if you have any questions, and have a good semester.